Welcome back to Steve Does Stuff. I'm Steve, and today we are doing truck platform stuff. So I'm going to be starting the, sleeping platform or truck drawers or whatever you want to call them. It's a truck camper, and we're going to be building the platform in the back. So I have all this wood here. Basically what I have is 2 3/4 inch 4x8 sheets of plywood, 2 1/2 inch 4x8 sheets of plywood, and 3 8-foot 2x8s that I'm going to be cutting down and trying to fit in there. Don't want to go too high, but first things first, I got to get the drift car out of the way. The joys of a tight garage. This is my parking brake. Alright, so even though it is a balmy January day here in Canada, it's about 3 degrees. Still working with the doors closed. Got my super safe heaters on because my fingers are getting cold. So, first thing I have to do, these are my fantastic plans, is I need to cut this sheet of plywood down to 44 by 72. Alright, test fit 1. It looks pretty good. This guy is really sitting up, but once it gets some weight on it, it'll be fine. I left it a little bit long, just I wasn't sure. Wanted to be better safe than sorry, but should be a good base platform. So I'm probably going to pull it back, say 2 inches. And then that'll leave enough space just for, I don't know, whatever locks or how much this is going to push in. So, alright, so I trimmed 1 inch off, and it fits perfectly. It's hard to see from here, but there is a bit of an indent right here, and I have to account for how much this GMC sticks out. So I'm going to be marking, make sure this is all the way up at the front, and then I'm going to have to put a board up against this to basically figure out what this dead space is going to be in here for the very front of the box, or the drawers, I should say. So this will all be dead space. That board that goes at the very front of the bed to form the back of our drawers is going to be just like this. Anything else, if it was here, it would push everything forward. So right now, we're going for our very back piece, something like this. So, I'm going to cut our back piece, 44 inches. Do this with one hand. Still got some space, and that is nice and tight with that back wall. A little bit of extra room here, but that's perfect. I probably should have been filming just there, but I've been having an issue with my skill saw. Just cutting through this, trying to make the other side. just of the very edge of the drawer bed to start to form the drawers. And it was kind of working intermittently, and well, there's a big spark. Yeah, so looks like I need to go borrow a skill saw. Alright, side one is all done. A little bit of a gap there, but hey, I'm no carpenter. What the fuck? Oh no, I didn't buy enough boards! That's a real kick in the dick. So we're getting there. This thing fits nice and tight, so we got to make pockets for those. When I got supplies, I got 3 2x8s, one for each side. Neglected to buy the one for the middle. Okay, well, right now I'm waiting for Home Depot because I need one more 2x8 to make the center section, so this can be split into 2 drawers. But right now I might start working on the drawer slides. So we looked online and there were, roughly 60-inch drawer slides, 3-section ones that I've seen used in a lot of these kind of sleeper builds, which they look great. They look like they function amazingly, but they are $300 a set. So all of this lumber was $280. And I would have been into it for basically anywhere from $400 to $600 in drawer slides. So I went to a hardware store and got this UMHW polyethylene. Another YouTuber, his name was Third Coast Craftsman, he recommended this stuff. He cut it down into strips. So this is 1/4 inch thick UMHW polyethylene. And we're going to lay these down for the drawer slides because we just don't have any other choice right now. So this is a great alternative. Instead of spending, $400 to $600 on drawer slides, this was $100 for all of it. And I still have 2 more up here, so in case I mess these up. I started cutting it with the jigsaw, and you can see the blade started to wander just a little bit, so then I had to change and cut it with the circular saw. But I'm going to do the very edges on here right now because I have nothing else to do and I want to keep working. So I've got everything marked every 10 inches plus basically where each one starts and begins. I'm going to be countersinking all of these because they have to lay kind of underneath the surface. It's going to be kind of tricky to do it with a drill, especially how fast this thing eats through wood. The polyethylene is very soft, so we'll just have to see how this goes. Nothing much more than that. Just enough to get that screw head below the surface. Alright guys, we are making progress. So those are the sides of the drawers. Those are about 6 1/4 wide. We've got all of the drawer slides done, as well as a makeshift center divider. So these are actually the bases of the drawers here, just cut out of, I think this is 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch uprights. and just use the table saw to zing these down so they're nice and steady. The wood is a little not so straight. So right now what I'm doing is kind of just screwing it along and then taking them off and bending it back just so it goes in straight. This is a very time-consuming process, but I want to make sure all these joints are 100%. Many hours later, we got one drawer. The other one is in pieces down there. Measured once, cut twice, right? Oh, God. Whoopsies. Wow. Obviously there'll be a top on there. Stop it. So plywood has a good and a bad side. This one doesn't look too bad down here, but it gets all cracked up down there. For this one, I think I will be using this side. I want this edge to the front because the other one, it's got a whole bunch of nasty knots and everything in it. So I'm going to put in this edge to the side, and let's build this drawer. Well, that was a bit of a day. We got 2 drawers. No faces yet, but it's coming together. So tomorrow, cutting the top. We're gonna put faces on the drawers. I got locks showing up. And then if we get crazy, I got a bunch of extra wood. Might do some dividers, but honestly don't know if that's a good idea to do the dividers yet. Should probably try and figure out what gear we're going to bring before I start just arbitrarily putting dividers in there. However, probably start working on the front, behind, in front and behind the wheel well pockets. I am not a carpenter. I'm just a guy who has some tools and too much time on his hand thanks to a lockdown. But let me know in the comments what I did wrong, why I'm such a terrible person, and see you in the